Hello, I am Georgia, the Dresser Fixer Upper, and welcome to my Dresser Fixer Upper channel. We are going to get into today how you can avoid your furniture flips collecting dust in your garage. Okay, so if you have been flipping for a few months now, up to a year, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you know, a lot of it has to do with where we're trying to sell. A lot of us are relying on Facebook Marketplace, and it has changed a lot over the past few years. I call it the garage sale site. So it has changed tremendously, and that's okay. It is our opportunity to move on and expand, right? To up level the way we sell. So let me just make clear that what you're going to see on this Dresser Fixer Upper channel isn't just a technique. There are 3 steps, 3 pillars in our whole flipping business, and that is find, fix, and flip. And you need all 3 to be moving along smoothly to hit those 4-figure months on repeat, okay? It's not just about how to paint. Now, great, I'm glad those videos are out there. I do what's called quick cosmetic restoration. So I get into quickly cosmetically fixing, uplifting the blemishes and getting it restored to its former glory, okay? So, but also painting. I have seen beautifully amazing art, works of art, pieces painted, and they need to shine as well. But unfortunately, they're not going to shine on the garage sale site marketplace. It can be really tough to sell there. Now, you can still put your pieces on there, and we'll get into how to do that. But I'm going to show you how to expand. And I talk about this because the sales part of it can really cause your pieces to be stuck in your garage collecting dust. And we don't want that anymore. But let's get into those different ways that can happen and how you can avoid it. Okay, the first way that you can avoid your pieces collecting dust in your garage and not moving along is first to think about how you can save time fixing, okay? So there is actually a creative process in the way that you can approach a piece and start to think about what are the inventive, creative ways that I can take steps away from the whole refinishing process or the whole painting process? Are there ways that I can go towards the shabby chic look or go towards a rustic kind of look so that I don't have to be in that perfectionist refinishing state of mind, right? So when you think through this, when you begin to approach your fixing in this way, what it does is it shortens down your time fixing, right? And then that means in our busy lives, with our busy schedules, maybe you have kids, you have jobs, all of that kind of stuff. You don't have to spend so much time going back and forth from your workspace and doing this step and then doing this step, right? And especially if you're just starting out and you're just beginning, you definitely want to go towards quick fixing to begin. It's just faster and it can take the pressure off, of that learning curve of, oh my gosh, I've not really painted. How do I strip this? What do I do, right? So, an example of the quick cosmetic restoration has to do with, maybe you like to paint, but when you approach a piece, instead of thinking to paint the entire piece, you can look at just painting the top, or maybe creating a frame, of paint with the top, and leaving some of those parts, the sides, the drawers, or maybe just painting the drawers, you just get creative in that way so that you don't have to go through so many steps and spend so much time. So that's a creative process all within itself, to get really shrewd, if you will, and get in that efficiency mindset and think, okay, what steps can I take away? Now, what do I mean by taking steps away. Well, if, a lot of times when I get a dresser, it'll be the top that's damaged or has some scratches or gouges. And so one of the things you can do is you can quickly, a very light, quick sanding on the top, and just get it enough to where maybe the top of that finishes off and you have hit those areas a little bit more, just enough to take out a little bit of the scratch or the gouge. And, sometimes if, I won't perfectly get that scratch or gouge out, I may get it just enough, and that's that creative way of looking at it and saying, okay, I can get this looking a little more on the rustic side so that when I put the stain on and I put a coat of poly on, it doesn't have to be a perfect finish. So that's the idea behind the quick cosmetic restoration. It's these cool little tricks and tactics to fool the eye, but it cuts your time way down, and it's still, you have a happy customer when they come to pick it up. Okay, now the second way that you're going to avoid your pieces being stuck in your garage collecting dust is to have a sales system. Okay, this is probably the number one way that a lot of people now today are getting stuck. It's in the sales. It's in the sales process. It's basically relying on marketplace. You do not want to do that, okay? Now, this doesn't mean you can't sell on marketplace. There's ways and strategies to still sell on marketplace, but you want to up-level your game. If you want to hit those 4-figure months on repeat, you definitely have to open your mind and expand your sales system. Now, this begins with a Facebook business page. I have a masterclass under 10 minutes that will show you how to set up your flippin' Facebook business page. Okay, so that link is in the description. You'll see it in big letters. Want the masterclass? That's where the link is. Grab that. It is free to you. You can get that set up right away, and you'll want to start today. Do it as soon as possible. Per Facebook rules, they have made it so you have to wait 30 days after you set up that page to run Facebook ads. Now, what's the big deal about Facebook ads? Oh my goodness. Right buyers are hard to come by on Marketplace. They, sometimes you'll find them, but it's not a place to rely on. So with the Facebook business page, it's like an online storefront for sales, okay? And there's all kinds of ways to optimize this page to really draw in buyers. You can also collect their information, all of these things. I know how to show you how to do. But you have to get that page set up and started. So grab that masterclass in under 10 minutes. It gives you just the basics. Pick out your name. It takes you step by step how to get that page started today. Okay, so number 3, the third way you can avoid your pieces getting stuck in your garage and collecting dust is to have a flow. You want to be in a flippin' flow state. Okay, what does that mean? Well, you want to have a consistent flow when it comes to finding, fixing, and flipping. Okay? Now, what does this mean? Well, in any one of these 3 areas, you can get stuck, or you can it's been called a bottleneck in business. There's a bottleneck where something just gets stuck. Maybe you're having trouble finding, or maybe it is in the fixing. You're starting to notice it's taking way too long to get these pieces ready, or maybe you're just starting, or you have just started, and you're trying to figure out how to get them fixed in a more efficient time, So there's a bottleneck. You can get stuck there in the fixing. But the most common way people get stuck is in the flipping or the sales and marketing, right? Because so many flippers are relying on Marketplace to get their beautiful pieces sold. These pieces that they've spent so much time on. So that's the number one way there. But the thing that you've got to do is be aware, really be aware that this can happen and start paying attention. Look for your bottleneck. Go, okay, where is it that I'm getting stuck? And normally it's in the fixing and the flipping. So if it's in the flipping area, which will be the most common area, and even if you've just started, you want to do this right away. You almost want to do what's called reverse engineering, where you start with the end in mind. Have you heard of that? Start with the end in mind, which is the sales, right? And get that masterclass. Get that masterclass. The link is in the description. It's under 10 minutes. Get your Facebook business page set up so you can move beyond and stop relying on just marketplace. Because I'm telling you right now, you will be enormously frustrated. That's where your bottleneck will happen if you're relying on marketplace. So get that started right away. But the whole point to this third way to avoid your pieces collecting dust, the whole point is to determine where is your bottleneck. If it's in the fixing area where you would like to learn more about the quick cosmetic fixing or even quick cosmetic painting, you can get in that frame of mind too. But if that is where you are stuck, you will see in the description all kinds of ways you can join my free group and jump in there, and I am there to help you. I help many, many people get going and get flowing. They get in their flippin' flow, their flippin' business flow state, so that they get unstuck and get past that bottleneck so that they can reach those 4-figure months on repeat. So as you can see on this Dresser Fixer Upper channel, I am teaching you how to keep that flow going through all of those steps. It's not just showing you a painting technique. It's not just showing you a technique. So I always say, you can find it, you can fix it, but can you sell it? So that is what this channel is all about. That's what I'm going to be showing you how to do. So just keep in mind, save your time fixing, get that Facebook business page started, and last but not least, you want to determine what is your bottleneck and which 3 areas are you getting stuck. Is it in the finding, fixing, or flipping? After you've determined that, jump into the description and join my free group, and that is where you can get your start today to get unstuck. And of course, make sure you get that masterclass, set up your flippin' business page, and I will be on the inside of all that. Okay, so don't miss my next video. I'm going to tell you the 3 things you need to know about faster furniture flipping. These 3 things are things that people rarely think about. Okay, so join me there and I'll see you on the inside.